Hello my friends, I'm going to show you how to crochet the diamond flower that I use on my diamond infant and toddler dresses. It's a cute little flower that would be fun to add to hats and bags and scarves, whatever you want. So I made this one in just 2 different colors. It's really easy to switch colors. You can make it in 4 different colors. You could do each round a different color. A solid color would be fine. I'll show you how to work it so that you don't have to switch colors every single row and tie off and have so many ends to tie in. So let's get started. To start, you're going to leave a tail long enough that you can stitch your flower to whatever project you want to add it to. You can start with a magic circle if you know how to work those. For this video, I'm just going to show how to start it with a chain 3 for those who are unfamiliar with the magic circle. So chain 3 and then work 13 double crochet in the very first chain. There's 8. And 13. Make sure your beginning chain is to the back of the work, and we're going to slip stitch in the top of the beginning chain. So right there. Okay. Round 1, this is the center of the flower. If you want the center of the flower to be a different color, you can either fasten off here. If you're going to use this same color in another round, I'm just going to pull the loop a little bit long and leave it there. For me, I want the next set of petals to be white, if I can find the end of my yarn. So I'm just going to slip stitch to the same space as we ended that other color. Okay, for round 2, I will chain 1, and we're going to work in the front loops only. So the top of your work, you have the 2 strands of yarn. This is the front loop, and this is the back loop. So for rounds 2 and 3, we're only going to work in the front loop. For rounds 4, we're going to work in the back loop. So make sure you leave that loop open. So to start, we're going to chain 1, and in the next stitch, the front loop only. So insert your hook underneath that strand of yarn. We're going to work a brick stitch. So you will single crochet, chain 2, and work 3 double crochets all around that same stitch. And remember the front loop only. We're going to skip the next stitch, that will be used in the next round, and work a brick stitch in the next stitch. So single crochet, chain 2, and 3 double crochets all in the same front loop. Again, we'll skip the next stitch and work our brick stitch in the next stitch. Single crochet, chain 2, and 3 double crochets. And we're going to do that all the way around. which will give us a total of 7 brick stitch when we're done. So go ahead and pause the video so that you can finish your round, and I'll meet you back here in just a second. Okay, I have 6 petals already. The final petal of this round is going to be worked in the last stitch right there. And I haven't secured this loop because I'm going to use it in the next round. So I'm just going to hold it tight so that it doesn't slip while I'm working that final brick stitch. Okay, there's my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 petals. To end this round, I'm going to slip stitch. Make sure that your first color loop is to the back if you are using more than one color here. I'm just going to slip stitch to the beginning chain 1 to connect this color. Again, if you're switching colors, you can fasten off here so that you don't have a loose strand, but if you're going to use this color in another round, just pull your loop long again and leave it to the back to pick up later. So my next round, round 3, I'm going to use my gray again. Let me grab the right strand of yarn. So for round 3, we're going to work behind the petals that we just made. And we're going to work in the skipped stitches. So if you pull your petal down, you know that this is a petal, this is the back loop, this is the skipped stitch from the previous round. So we will start with basically a large brick stitch is what we're working next. So in the front loop only again, we're going to work a single crochet, and I did not chain a beginning chain, I'm just working right into it. So work a single crochet, chain 3, and then we'll work 5 double crochet or 5 treble crochets around that same front loop. And that's our larger brick stitch. So you'll push the next petal down, and there's our skipped stitch. We'll work the same thing in the front loop only of the next skipped stitch. So single crochet, chain 3, and work 5 treble crochets around that same stitch. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're going to repeat this all the way around in each skipped stitch. So when you're done with this round, you'll have 6 of these large petals. So go ahead and pause the video here so that you can finish this round. Okay, now that I have our 6 petals, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, our final petal. To fasten this off, we're going to slip stitch to the beginning chain 1 to connect. If you're not going to use this color again, you can fasten it off here, and I'm going to do that because I am just going to use my final 2 rounds as white. So I'm just going to cut my yarn. Oh, before you do that, if you're working the other color, make sure that you pull that loop to the back so that we can access it easily. If you're fastening off your colors, it's not going to matter. So pull that loop back if you're using a second color, attach, and then slip stitch to the beginning, chain 1 to connect. And then I just pull to fasten off, I just pull my yarn through, leave a little loop right here. I stick my hook back in it and pull my yarn through again and tighten it, and that tightens. It's pretty good. Okay, for round 4, we're going to be working behind the petals again, and we will work in the back loops only. So tighten that loop up if you had it attached still. So we're going to work in the back loops only that we skipped. So all the way around, we will chain 2 to start, and we're going to work 2 double crochets in every back loop of round 1. When you're finished, you should end up with 26 double crochets. So just keep pulling those petals forward and working that back loop. Go ahead and pause the video here so you can finish this round, and I'll meet you back in a second. All right, now that we've worked our 26 double crochet, just creates another circle base in the back of the flower. We're at the very end. I've worked my final double crochet, and I'm going to slip stitch to the top of the beginning chain 2 to connect. For the final round of petals, we will chain 1, and we're going to work a single crochet, chain 3, and 7 trebles, so it's an even larger brick stitch basically in the next stitch. And we can use both loops since it's the final round. So in the next stitch, single crochet, chain 3, and work 7 trebles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So that's your larger petal. So we've just gotten bigger as we've gone around. You skip the next stitch and work the same combination in the next stitch. So single crochet, chain 3, and 7 treble crochets all in that next stitch. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Skip the next stitch and work the next set of combination of stitches in the next stitch. Let's go ahead and pause here and finish this round, and I'll meet you back in just a second. Okay, now that we have our 13 petals, we're just going to end this with a slip stitch into the beginning chain 1 of that round. When you fasten off, I like to leave another tail long enough to secure the flower to your project. I secure the center part with the first tail, and then I come back with the last tail, and I like to secure that second ring with the last tail just to make sure that my project isn't so floppy on the embellish, or when I embellish other projects. So we'll cut that strand long enough to sew the second loop down, yarn over and pull through my loop, stick my hook up there, and I'm going to grab my yarn and pull through again and tighten. And there we have it. And just shape it a little bit. And there is our diamond flower. So I hope you enjoyed making this fun little project. If you have any questions, go ahead and comment below and I will be happy to help. If you liked this video, if it was useful to you, give it a thumbs up so that I know that it is beneficial to others. Like and subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can stay up on all of the latest crochet stitches that I'm using in my patterns and the tips and tricks that will help you make your projects go a lot more smoother and with amazing results. Happy crocheting, everyone. I hope you have a wonderful day.